Sometimes when one gambles on the belongings of a complete stranger, it leads to the discovery of unexpected riches. Here we've mentioned a few of such lucky discoveries. Listen on to find out about them. But before we begin, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Also, don't forget to hit the bell icon, so that you don't miss out on anything. Number 1. High art. Storage warriors tend to drive hard bargains every time they come across a unit full of artwork, and that's exactly what happened during the episode of Portrait Gambler. You could tell how much Brandy Passanti wanted it for herself, and she even went against Sarah's wishes by continuing to bid after he told her not to. He eventually forced her to give up, and Daryl Sheets got his hand on the locker that turned out to be worth a fortune. The gambler and his son Brandon couldn't hide their excitement as they started going through the locker. The duo was impressed by all the little trinkets they found inside of it, plus the paintings by Frank Gutierrez were the icing on the cake. After finding boxes of his artwork, Daryl only had to make sure everything was legit. He got in touch with an expert who confirmed that the paintings were original. The value of artwork was appraised to be $300,000. This made the most valuable finds in the storage hoard's history. Number 2. Good news. Coming across a storage unit full of old newspapers will impress most people, but then there's David Hester. After years of the biz, the mogul learned that sometimes it's impossible to guess that the law of the locker is going to be a boom or a bust, as you simply have to go with your guts. That's what he did during the episode of Senior Center Showdown, and invested $750 on a unit that didn't seem so impressive to the rest of the buyers. It turned out that his hunch was right, and Hester ended up making one of the biggest profits of his career. The locker was filled with old newspapers that had one thing in common. They were published on August 16, 1977, the day Elvis left the building. Hester valued them at $90,000, since collectors of Elvis memorabilia never shied away from spending huge sums of cash to acquire items connected to the king of rock and roll. Number 3. Pirate treasure. The luckiest storage unit Dan and Laura ever auctioned never made it on camera, and it was purchased by a private buyer who became $500,000 richer in the process. The lucky bidder cashed out $1,000 to become the new owner of this locker, and everyone who went against him probably regretted not offering more money for this unit. When the buyer went through its content, they stumbled upon an extremely heavy box. It took a team of 3 people to move it out of the unit, but once they lifted the lid, the 3 couldn't believe their luck. The box was filled with Spanish gold. After having it appraised, the buyer discovered that they could get $500,000 for these precious coins. Number 4. Faceless cash. Dan Dodson and Laura auctioned off some of the most profitable lockers while the cameras weren't rolling, and a few of them contained pretty unexpected items. One of those units just so happened to come with $24,000 in cash. But there was something pretty special about each bill in this collection. The previous owner had bizarrely removed the faces from every single bill before abandoning their locker. One lucky bidder spent $400 in a storage unit containing these bills and didn't expect to find anything special. But everything changed when the new owner started digging deeper and stumbled upon a fortune. Things got a little bit strange, since everyone drilled the faces out of every single bill, and the buyers started wondering if they'll ever be able to cash them in. Fortunately, it turned out that the bank will accept them after a series of tests. Number 5. Nerd's Wet Dream. When you spend $15,000 on a single locker, you kind of expect to find a treasure inside of it, and that's exactly what happened in the episode of Zen Masters of the Universe. The crew took a trip to Fontana, where Daryl Sheets spotted a unit and decided to go all in. The gambler engaged in a preheated bidding war and spent more cash than he ever did to get his hand on this locker. He's got his money worth, since the unit contained dozens of collectible dolls and action figures in their original boxes. Daryl knew he won't struggle to find a buyer, since they were all in pristine condition. The locker turned out to be, for comic book fans, a wet dream, since it all contained boxes filled with classic comics. After appraising all the items inside the unit, Sheets came to the conclusion that he'll make around $75,000 in net profit after selling them. Well, that's it for today. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, then let us know by giving it a thumbs up. We'll see you soon in another video. Until then, take care and goodbye.